Hello and welcome back to the Stack Cash AMA. Today is October 14th and it is our 22nd AMA. Wow. So we've got a nice little streak going of AMAs. I'm Muddy Mo, a board member here with Stack Cash, and I'm also joined with Vin and Doc. What's going on, guys?
What's happening, everybody? Happy weekend.
Yep, hope everyone's well. We had a little partial solar eclipse today, so
Oh yeah,
well, we had a full
that's
solar eclipse if you live in Texas. Otherwise, you got a partial.
right.
Yeah, it's the solar eclipse today. So that's exciting news. Exciting news. All
Yeah, I'm
right.
not
So
near Texas.
all right. So for just some house cleaning, guys, as always, feel free to come in and hit the like, whether you're watching it live or on the replay. It does the algorithm well. And also, as Stack Cash, as we're, progressing and moving on into the next phases of the project, please feel free to contact us or reach out to us through Linktree, Telegram, Discord, so forth and so on. So today's AMA is going to be a little bit different. So we'll kind of have more of a conversation. So typically myself, Doc, Vin, all of us, we usually just kind of have a script and kind of not a script, but something that we want to talk about and go according to that. But today, obviously, this is the AMA. So it's that kind of a ask me anything. So we can kind of talk about some questions that you guys have or even might have. And then we can also discuss or tease some of the things that we have coming in the project, which I know a lot of people are excited about the Stack token launch. So our Stack Fair launch is a week-long event. We'll essentially get a date out to you all and get some promotion behind that. So the day that some of you guys have been waiting for is almost here. So, and also we'll discuss our early adopter NTTs. So as you guys know, the NTTs, which is similar to an NFT, it really is significant when it comes to Stack Cash. This is a different project, whereas we want you guys to be owners with us. We want to continually grow the group of ownership and have the typical users have a say in the project. But we've also added some extra features, especially for being an early adopter and an NTT holder. We've added some extra features as we go along. So hopefully you guys will be excited about what we have to offer, and we'll do some talking about the NTTs, and also we'll also discuss our website. So about the Stack launch, guys, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys feeling?
Oh, I'm excited about it, man. I mean, something we've been planning for a long time, right? Like, what is it, 10 months now? I can't even believe that 10 months went by already. And yeah, this is going to be huge. I can't wait. Listened to a few MAs over the past week and whatnot. And there's some projects out there, but nothing on the Binance Smart Chain, which we're launching on, that's really attractive right now. So I think this is going to do pretty well. I'm excited.
Nice, Vin. Y- I had a conversation. I talked to a family member, a cousin of mine I haven't spoke to in a long time. And he's like, oh, everybody has like phases where they get interested in like DeFi and crypto. So
Yeah.
he's like at that moment, like, oh, I'm ready to invest, man. I'm ready to get into something, right? So I had to start from scratch with him. And I'm talking about from scratch. So
Yeah.
I got him a MetaMask. He has Coinbase, all that good stuff. And I just realized how hard it is to really, really tell somebody about the DeFi space right now. It's difficult
Yeah.
because
Yep.
he asked me like, "What's all the stuff that I'm in?" And I talked about some typical coins, the
Yeah.
coins you can find on CoinMarketCap, top 50 tokens.
Right.
But he wants DeFi. He wants
Yep.
passive income.
Oh yeah.
And I just realized how hard it is to really tell people about this space. So hopefully the
Hmm.
Stack token launch and what we have will make things easier. Have you guys seen that or talked to people that's brand new to crypto and DeFi about this, about the crypto space?
Yeah. Let me jump in quick. It's funny because one of Tina's friends are down from up from Florida. I keep saying down because I'm used to saying down. I'm always in Florida, but I'm not now. But and she was talking to him about it, and she's always talking about it. And so I'm like, all right, yeah, that sounds great. It's interesting and whatnot. And because they just do kind of regular stocks and whatnot, and like a Robinhood thing, which is pretty much dumb proof, right? So here I am setting up wallets for two girls, and actually they're going to be grabbing some NTTs, as far as I know, and but yeah, I mean, just going through the motions of what it is, how it works, how it's different from stocks, and I mean, they got it pretty well, not like they don't have a grasp on it, but I kind of like learned them for like an hour, and but I set up their wallets, and and I told them I'd be walking them through it for the rest of the way, and then there's not really much they well, there is. Well, Stack Cash is a lot to do. Actually, let me retract that. but yeah. So I know what you're saying there, Mo. Absolutely. So it was a pretty good conversation.
Yes. So to me, and to your point earlier, then we don't have many projects, especially that we feel proud to get people in.
Right.
So the ground floor, people to get an NTT right now, like I was telling my cousin, man, you're at the perfect time in a project if you want to get on the ground floor. And not
Right.
only just that, some of the things that we offer here, which is a portion of the project, or a portion of the protocol treasuries,
Yep.
ownership. That's hard
Hmm.
to do,
Yeah.
in DeFi, even though it's similar to the stock market in a lot of ways. Then you brought up a
Yep.
great point. They all compare to the stock market.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we have to
I mean,
kind of talk about what we have going and kind of what
yep.
makes us different. But
I mean, the
um
best way to kind of like give them an idea is like the Bitcoin scenario. You know what I mean? How it's kind of on that kind of page. You know what I mean? So they kind of got it. So but yeah, it's quite the chore, but it's enjoyable too. Just talking about it and telling people about it and spreading the word, and hopefully we can just build a DeFi community. You know what I mean?
exactly, Vin. And one thing I'm happy about with Stack Cash is I think we have a market for what we have going right now. Um,
Yep.
you know, we was trying to get to participate. It was another AMA. Shout out to them. Hopefully we'll get on with them next week. But
Hmm.
there's so many different pockets into crypto. And what
Yep.
we have here with Stack Cash, people are familiar with NFTs and meme coins and Bitcoin,
Yep. Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much. Yep.
yeah, maybe sprinkle a little Ethereum in XRP if they kind of know what they're talking about.
Yep.
Um, but it's awesome to be in a position to have a project like ours that we can really take people in from the ground level and start building with them and have
Yep.
like locked liquidity, and have a chance where
Yep.
they can have their voices be heard. If they have questions, we'll answer it.
Yeah.
I think that's just such a big advantage, especially right now what's going on in DeFi.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry, I was gonna say like with DeFi and with crypto and all that, people know stuff, but then they don't, and it's okay. I mean, that's almost sometimes I feel bad, but it's almost like by design. Because even people in the stock market, when you have the stock market, oh, I don't know, I put some money, check it to a 401k, and it buys me these mutual funds, and I think I get like Apple or Tesla. Most people don't even know, but they know what a stock
Right.
is because it's more mainstream for generations, like 100 years now. So some people at
Right.
least understand that it exists, and they see it talked about in the news or they see highlights of it. Um, but yeah, crypto, is kind of a combination of stocks and bonds. You have the
Yep.
growth if you want to buy something of a coin, same as owning a stock. The
Yep.
only difference is stocks are controlled by centralized companies and boards, and who
Right.
control everything. They make decisions on their own the way they want to, and kind of like an exchange. An exchange is centralized, whereas DeFi, of course, is decentralized. And then you
Right.
get the bond portion because you can invest in some things that gives you income, right? Bonds pay you income and the stock gives you growth. And you have both options available in the crypto and the DeFi space, which is a lot of people want, is that high yield. So as well as growth.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know what else too, Doc? It's like you're investing and everything, and then if you don't know what you're doing, actually, you got to pay a broker, right? So there's some heavy fees right there. So like being over here, like in the decentralized DeFi space, it's like you're your own boss. You make your own decisions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Great. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. And in my previous life, I did a lot of that. And I'm just lucky enough that I have a lot of experience in the financial world and the financial markets of things that, yeah, maybe things that I take for granted, that people like don't know the simple things that I think is so like elementary as like putting one foot in front of the other. But I have to stop and remember I have a lot of years of background, and I purposely spend a lot of time educating myself. So that's why the more people you educate yourself, the more you see these kind of things, the more like we're talking here, and you guys and Muddy and all the guys, are constantly trying to help educate people, to help bring people into the space, understand the opportunities they have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a lot of people don't even know what they're looking at when they get their 401k charts in. They just see a bunch of numbers, a bunch of names, a bunch of investments like they're invested in. They think it's all well and whatnot. It's crazy.
I'm sorry. So I basically have a twice a year call meeting with my mom or sister to every year help them with it. But they're like, I don't know what the hell this is. What should I do? What do I do? Do I change anything? Do I leave it alone? What do I do?
Right. You're exactly right. Yep.
So I think that all leads, guys. I think we have something, because Doc, you brought up a great point. A lot of people aren't as knowledgeable about some of the things we would expect people to be knowledgeable about. But with the stack token, it's a buy it if you want to. If you want to be passive and you don't have much time for it and you want to check every couple months, buy stack tokens. That's the easiest thing. if you buy stack tokens, you get more of it. And not just that, more than likely, especially with some of the mechanics that we have here, you'll be able to get a higher value and come back, and you'll be surprised when you check your portfolio or your crypto portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I was telling the girls there. It's like, this is somewhat like a stock. You just buy the stack token, and if you're not really into like being involved daily where you have to check everything and whatnot, you can just buy the stack and check it out every couple of days or whatnot and not worry about it.
Good point, Van. And just the added piece to that, the NTTs is even better with the ownership, because with NTTs you also get stack tokens. So you'll have stack tokens that will be growing, but also you'll be getting on the other side of things, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But when you get to the cash side of things, you'll be able to set it in. If you want to do cache and have a single asset staking pool, don't want to think about it much, you'll be able to put those the cash tokens there. And primarily you'll be feeding that cash box and cash box plus principal, which, like to Doc's point, that's a bond. That's similar to a bank. And it's a reason I know a lot of people, we might have keywords that we say here in DeFi that a lot of people might not understand. But when we say community banking, that's exactly what this is. You're able to be your own bank, and you're able to control your own funds.
And this is the time too. Everybody, I've been watching videos of people, just separate things of financial. I guess you can call me. I love watching. I'll spend hours watching videos and interviews on the financial markets and macro. Just me. It's just I love it. However, everybody is saying that why more people being in the banks? We should keep more and more people are unbanking themselves, just like you cut the cord in cable, right? And went to streaming. People are unbanking more and more, and this is giving more and more opportunity to help people unbank from the traditional, controlled, centralized, what people know as a bank.
I have my bank accounts, but I just use it for my auto pays for all my bills and loans and whatnot. But I just transfer my money from my crypto wallets, and then I just deposit it into my bank. But other than that, yeah, man, my money is my money, and it's safely, it's locked, and it's protected.
And I want Muddy to go into this for Stack and the opportunities people have, but I want people to hear this one part if they listen to this, or we could talk about it more in the future, is that people's money in the bank, it's not your money. People don't realize that. It's not yours. Your deposit into a regular traditional bank is actually a liability to them, and they loan it out. And they do other things with it, and they can basically not give you your deposits if they want. That's legally been passed in a law, and the FDIC, and it can go on and on for days. But the point is, your money is not really your money. So your money, if you want to control not your keys, not your coins, we don't control our keys in the traditional bank. You do control your keys in DeFi and in crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you never know, man. You wake up one day and your bank's locked, like closed. Something's happening. Like, what do you do now?
Listen, they got hours where you can't even go. The crypto. One thing is great about the crypto space, and one thing I've enjoyed is that it's always open. You know,
Right. Yeah.
at 1 in the morning, if I if I want to move some money or check on my money, I can do that.
Yep.
And then I've had some situations where I don't know if you guys have dealt with this. Whether you're buying something large or having something happen, you either have to go in and talk to a personal banker, or you
Yep.
have if you don't try to call, oh my goodness.
Oh, forget it.
Sometimes it's a language barrier there. It's just all kind of stuff like, and then they put you on hold, all that
Yep.
stuff. So
Yeah, it's me, man. Representative, representative. That's all I say. Like I just keep pounding numbers, like beep, 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 beep.
And then you feel
you're
like you're
done
being
the opposite of
interrogated
it,
by
just
like a
directly
criminal. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying
Go
when you
ahead.
feel interrogated as a criminal, God forbid you actually want your own money. Good luck trying to go in and get a few thousand out and see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're right.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
What do you
let's
want
Yeah.
it for? What is your business?
right.
What do
Yeah.
you
Right.
want from me? What do you care?
Yep. Yep.
Exactly.
Man,
All
I'll tell you,
right.
it's good stuff. But yeah, just let me drop one more thing about speaking about the
Go ahead.
videos
Yeah,
Doc was saying.
sure.
Uh, the videos is another thing I was explaining to the girls. It's like I said, there's a lot of information out there, on Stack Cash, and other DeFi projects as well. And just take a look at them, listen to them. You know what I mean? While you're working, while you're driving. So a lot of good videos out there, a lot of tutorials about Stack Cash, how it works, and everything. So go check them out.
Good
Yeah, this
point,
is
man.
definitely an opportunity. This is a good opportunity for people to get in, learn about DeFi, get growth, build their position, have cash when that part comes out, and get bonds, get income, and really see how the DeFi space works. Because as we move forward, it's going to get more and more adoption over time. And this is an opportunity to get in earlier at the ground level.
Yep.
Great points, guys. I love the fact. See, and I was telling my cousin that just brought perspective to me. Talking to real world people who's not in crypto. You
Yep.
know, I've done the work for you, man. I've taken the
Yeah.
L's. I've saw the bad actors. I saw the bad contracts. I've been through all the hard times. And most of the team here is that cash. Our slogan is for DeFi users, by DeFi users.
Yep.
We say that because we've been through the harder times of this. And again, we kind of siphoned out all the stuff, all the noise, and brought down to the bare base of a contract. Not that's just not tokenomically strong, or basically has the functions of it strong, but it's also
Right.
good people behind it, and that's key. Um,
Yeah.
in the crypto and DeFi space, we don't want to, act like it hasn't been rough for some people, in getting in certain contracts. However, for what we're trying to build here, this is specifically built to have us grow, and as we said, it's a community bank, so have us grow on the same accord, and then have you guys, especially the newer people, have an opportunity to learn on the ground floor and to get in and earn passive income on the ground floor. So
Yeah. And you know what
good.
else too? It's like one thing I always tell the people, and it's like, oh wow, that's good. And you get paid good for having a project and everything. And they're like, how much you gonna make? I'm just like, well, here's the best part of it. We make money just like everybody else is gonna make money in this project. If it does well, we do well. Doesn't do well, we don't do well, right? And they look at you like, well, why are you doing it? Like, don't you want to make money? Like it's your project. It's like, no, it's equal, fair project. Everybody makes money the same exact way. We don't get paid any way any different than anybody else that's investing in the project. And like they don't, it's hard for them to believe, you know what I mean? But it's the damn truth.
Then that's an awesome point. I've had other project leaders like, okay, so how much is the team making and all that. I say,
Yep.
man, we're in it with you guys. Like, this is
Yeah.
literally, it's almost too good to be true. Like, they were like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, no, this is a
Right.
community project.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
is literally built. We have the same buy-in as you guys. So
Yeah. Yep.
great,
Exactly.
great point. All right. So here we have our link tree. And as you guys will see, we have some updates here with the link tree. And
Nice.
Vin and I last week we talked a lot about the website stackcash.community.
Yeah.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. It is up and it is live. And we've also had Doc had a great video, which we'll talk about in just a second, on the early adopter launch. But the link tree has been updated. So as always, at the very top, we have our social media platforms here. And we also have some down below. But if you want to check us on Twitter, Discord, Telegram, Discord and Telegram will probably be one of the best places if you want to get a live interaction with a team member or just somebody who knows what they're talking about with DeFi. That's going to be a phenomenal resource for you. If you want to learn about the project in depth, Vin just said videos. So we
Yep.
have a lot of videos, and there's more and more to come, especially as the team building starts, which we'll talk about that, and some other facets of the process. Excuse me. You'll be able to utilize our YouTube channel in order to see some videos regarding Stack Cash and also to get some more information. So definitely take use of that. Make use of that. At the very top, the one thing, I said it last week, the one thing that people keep talking about, if I keep saying it, I keep saying it, is for a reason. The early adopter pre-sale is available now. So the ownership, at the ground floor of this is available right now. The link is here to that. If you have any questions about that, we have a website which we'll go over, but we have a website for, but also, again, this is just the ownership. You'll be able to also get extra gains early. We'll talk more to that in a moment. The official website is right here. So, so if it's stackcash.community, but if some people might misspell cash or whatever, what have you, no big deal.
Yep.
If you come to the link tree, it's right here. Also, we have our information here. Especially DeFi veterans love this information piece right here. So we have our white paper, our light paper, and our roadmap. Now, shout out to Pete, one of the community members here at Stack Cash, at our voice chat in the Telegram. And also check us out on Wednesdays. We do VCs either in the Telegram or on Twitter Spaces. But Pete was saying, "Hey, Muddy, I got an issue. This white paper is, it's on a black background. Can we get it on a white background? I need to see it. My eyes, my eyes not what they used to be." so shout out to Pete for giving me that information. So what what we'll do, this is a V1 of the white paper. We'll have a V2 of the white paper with some updated information. But also we'll get that on a white background. So, so all my guys who, the vision's not what it used to be, we can definitely make sure it's visible for you.
Yep.
Also we have an updated roadmap and the light paper. I always say, if you're new, if you're, talking about Stack Cash to someone and you want them to have a clear kind of an elevator pitch about what it is, the Stack Cash light paper is the easiest place to start. It's just, bare bones, what the project is and how to participate. Also, and I think this is new to even the board and committee, I've added a BSC guide here. So we've had this created for a while. As Vince said earlier, we've been working on this project for 10 months. So it hasn't been sometimes in DeFi projects are, thrown up in 2-3 weeks or, a couple of days. And, people expect that to be successful. We've taken our time and, really made sure that we've hit all the facets that, not just a new user, but also a veteran DeFi user want to see. But if you're new to crypto in general, we have a how to basically get a MetaMask, which is needed and used for not just Stack Cash, but to all DeFi projects. MetaMask is probably one of the better wallets that you can use in order to get your funds on and start to earn passive income. So if you're new, definitely come check out this beginner DeFi guide to Stack Cash, and we'll have more pieces of information here as we go along. But for now, that's the best way to start is, how to get your MetaMask wallet and how to start using Stack Cash. All right. Also, as I said before, we have our white paper, which is basically, it's the blueprint to the project or what the project's about. We do have that in video form. It's 7 parts. It's called All About Stack Cash. Definitely feel free to check us out. Our YouTube is always available. So, at your convenience. These are pretty quick, easy watches. So if you want to learn about, how the hot dog is made or, how it's created, this is kind of what works or how the project works here in All About Stack Cash. Again, we have useful resources here. So we have our Reddit. Shout out to Tina, one of the board members here, who is doing a great job with our Reddit. But we'll be getting more and more added there as I'm learning and other team members are learning. Also, we have our Medium, which you can come in if you want to, read up about what's going on with Stack Cash. You can definitely come there and see that. And last but not least, we have all of our AMAs. We'll get more up here. We got a couple more to add, but we have all of our AMAs is right down here in the link tree. So if you want to check out, all of the intel in detail, perspectives about Stack Cash, and even just questions, your general questions to it. The best place, especially if you can't catch anybody, to be coming here to these AMAs, listening to us talk about the project.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, and she updated that Reddit too, by the way. She was showing me before I wasn't able to go and see her again, but she threw on Doc's video in the influence section, and I think Nakamoto's video, Donatello's, and then Stack Cash has got their own section, obviously. But I'm starting to like the Reddit there. I got to make an account, but yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yep. And here it is, the Reddit. And we also, I think we have a GitHub, but we got to make sure I got to get that active. But just kind of reaching the people where they are. Tina's really in tune with people, so shout out to her for even saying, hey guys, we need to get this Reddit going and getting this going. Again, we got videos from board members like Doc, Nakamoto, Donatello, some others that's put here. And we also just got general information. So if you want to come on and just learn more, we have the Early Adopters launch here. If you want to come on and just learn more about what we got going on, Reddit is a very, very good tool. And we just, we're like the Swiss Army knife here at Stack Cash. We pretty much have most of the things you're going to need is going to be right here. So that's just another resource that you can use. Also here on X, definitely come check us out here on X. We'll have all of our major stuff posted. We also retweet, good community members who have things going on. We got Tina here, we got Nakamoto there, and some others. So definitely come check us out on X. And you see, we've also retweeted Doc here. He had an awesome video on the Early Adopter launch. And Doc, I'll give you a couple of seconds if you want to talk about that video and kind of what's behind it. Feel free, man.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't want to make it too long because it's hard. Sometimes you talk, you don't realize how long you can go, and you try to be concise. But just the fact that the opportunity of the early adopter, what you can get for being an owner, like we've discussed here, and basically, have the opportunity to earn from the protocol, because there's no owner, there's no dev. So you can join and earn on the treasuries as the protocol does and have a true ownership. But then the fact that what we're discussing, the stack token about to be coming out, and nothing's been finalized yet because everything goes through an official vote from the board and the committee and the DAOs. Everybody has an equal say before things are passed through. That's another thing that's unique. That's not having it where it's just somebody making one person pulling the strings. But that, that the point is to try to really make the stack launch and the token itself and the tokenomics have a lot of constant buy pressure. You want it to where it keeps helping itself go up and building more buy pressure, which attracts more and helps overall the whole ecosystem, helps the token go up and appreciate over time. And that's what we're trying to figure out and build in is how can we help it help itself to keep constant buy pressure so that everyone benefits and wins, and it continues to do so. So it's not just the people who get in the beginning, but everybody, so that it's a constant perpetual kind of like flywheels, the whole point.
Yep. And then I just want to touch on that, Doc. One thing I liked about it was you were talking about there's no burn wallet right here where any stack token goes to, where it just sits somewhere and nobody knows what's going to happen with it. You know what I mean? With it's no dev here that can do anything with a burn wallet because we don't have a burn wallet.
Yeah, there's no dev.
I'm not a big. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
No, I'm just saying I'm not a fan of a burn wallet. You know what I mean?
No, I was just saying I forgot about this. I was going to tell you to get going to that. I totally forgot I mentioned that. I don't remember everything I said. But it's true. Like, burn wallets, sound great, but all it is just a token sitting on the side somewhere in a wallet that could be accessible or could be, cough exploited. So,
yep,
exactly. See, now all my DeFi veterans know exactly what we're saying when we say that. Projects in the past have had a lot of issues with the burn wallet where funds just sit until one day somebody magically hacks it. For us, it's kind of like, I always refer to the Native Americans of how they use the buffalo, right? Nothing goes to waste. So all of the stack tokens, and we'll talk about how we're doing the stack token launch, the stack fair launch, but all the tokens within the ecosystem is being back put to work. So the protocol treasuries, that's where all the magic is really made. There's not one treasury, and also we don't have a permanent pay you back through a protocol treasury. It doesn't work like that. So just to kind of get clear, but that's a great point. You guys go check out Doc's video. It's a really, really good watch. And he does a great job explaining the early adopter launch and the project. All right. I'm gonna keep saying this. Stack some cash. We gonna stack some cash. Stack Cash Community. It is live. We're gonna get a formal. Oh, this is out. We'll get that out in the Telegram and the Discord very soon. But Stack Cash Community is live, so it's available. Come check us out. If you had to give somebody something, I would definitely give them the website. And here's where all the magic's made. So we've went over the website multiple times. So if you guys have any questions about the website, please feel free. But everything should be here and should lead you to exactly what you want to know about the project. We have the white paper, light paper roadmap here. We have also community resources, team page, and the biggest thing is we have a contact page as well. So if you want to know exactly who to talk to, because I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking publicly. No big deal. So we have you covered here. You can come chat with us here. There's many options. If you're just a regular person, you've got a general inquiry, you can email us if that's more comfortable. But also we have our Telegrams and Discords, and also if you're media or if you're interested in a partnership with Stack Cash, especially as a DeFi project or an influencer, now's a really good time to kind of connect with us. All right. So let's go through it really quickly, guys. So one thing that Doc did a great job of pointing out in his video, but I also want to kind of go through again, is we can't say it enough, is the ownership. So we have the Stack Fair launch, which is probably the main thing we'll talk about today. But when you look at protocols in the DeFi space, if you look at stuff in real life, you can never really get to a point where you can have true ownership. And I think one of the great things that we don't mention often, but one of the great things about the Stack Cash ownership is that it's almost, I think I said this last week, it's almost like a co-op, a cooperative. Whereas, once you become a board holder, you get an equal share from this main protocol treasury. So just keep that in mind, Doc, myself, being like, you're just on the same level with us. But being an early adopter is one time, guys. It's not going to be around forever. It's not going to, I'll come back next month. It might not be here next month. So this is essentially the opportunity at the base floor to get the ownership, but also in a lot of cases, you'll be getting a lot of value. And up here at the top, I think we talked about this before, but even on the board level, for 10,000 USDC, you get 100% of that 10,000 back, and you get Cashbox Plus credit, and you get an NTT. That's just a lot. That's just a lot. That's like the ultimate combo meal for DeFi. You get we have so many people in the DeFi space, especially, who, I want an ROI, and then I'll start, investing more or staying in the project, and they always want to take their initial out. Well, here we're giving you an opportunity to do that. Well, the protocol is really helping you do that, and we're allowing you to have some ownership as well. So,
and just touch on that moment. Listen to the few AMAs over the week. Other projects are doing the same things. They're selling NFTs where we have NTTs. And what's different about us is we have our NTTs, and they're all set prices. It's not changing. There's no different phases in it. Where other projects, they start off with an NFT at $50, say, as an example, and then once those are all sold, it goes up to $100, and then so on and so on, where it can go up to who knows what, right? Like 5,000, 10,000, who knows? But us right here, it's just a solid package. You get to pick one of the ones we have on the website. It doesn't change, and so I just wanted to point that out. So other projects are doing this, but in a different way and in different phases.
That's great. And another thing too is that what people always say is that, and it's been discussed before, but I know it'll be discussed again, is that it's a fair launch. There's no pre-sale. No one's buying Stack tokens at a discount. There's nothing where somebody else has gotten theirs at a fraction of the cost that was secret, privately done on the back end before this gets to the move. Like none of that exists. So
Right.
if you want to get that so-called early pre-sale, early income, this is the way. The NTT is your way.
Right, right. And there's no pressure like where it's like you miss a phase where you could have got something cheap and now you got to get it for more expensive way and whatnot. No, we're just solid prices. We got we got the ones to pick from and you choose it, and that's how it stays.
Phenomenal points, guys. That you guys hit the nail on the head. You know,
Hmm.
most projects have a pre-sale of tokens, and to Doc's point, this is a fair launch. Like, so we'll have the tokens available. It's going to be available to the world at the same time.
Right,
Now,
right,
I'll give you guys a little alpha because we've been talking, me with the board and the committee, we've been talking about this, but the Stack Fair launch is sooner than you guys think. It's very, very near. But one thing that's phenomenal about it is, especially with the NTTs, is you'll have an opportunity to buy Stack. The only time you'll ever be able to buy Stack with zero fees, and that'll be at the Stack token launch. So I think Vin brought up NTTs earlier, or NFTs earlier for other projects. So with Stack Cash, we have that same facet, right? So we have an NFT, and some NFTs even give you passive income. Well, ours
right.
does that as well. It connects to our protocol treasury. So that's one thing. But in addition to that, we have the Stack token, which is deflationary, and it also pays you passive income of more tokens. And it's
Yep.
obviously when it's less available, the price can. I don't want to talk price too much, but you guys know what typically happens in that scenario. And then we additionally have a utility coin, or really just a medium of exchange that's stable. So the cash token as well. So I'll say it like this: it's kind of like DeFi gumbo. We kind of have a little everything in here.
Yep.
um, so it's just if you come participate, the NTTs is the start, but again, it's going to
Yep.
be a fair launch.
Yep. And
Um,
another thing I just want to say is, nothing against those other projects that are doing the things that, the way they're doing them. They got their roadmap and they're following it and they're making their money and they're raising their money. So shout out to everybody that's doing it, because I'll tell you, we know how it is to build a project, right? So, I was just making a comparison compared to them to us. So, nothing negative against any other project and how they're doing things.
exactly. And I think that's the key here. Not only just that, they're a good project. The way we're
Yep.
set up, especially with our CBC contract, which will be coming in the future.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to partner with other projects.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yes. So it's all love here. Other projects exist, right? You have your
Yep.
bank, you could be at, US Bank or, Bank of America, whatever it might be, but there's still PNC and all these credit unions, there's other banks too. And we're very understanding of that. And not just that, in the stock
Yep.
market, most people don't just buy one stock and say that's it. They
Yeah.
they diversify. So
Yeah.
with
And
Stack
no, we
Cash,
want other projects to do well too, because we're degens and we want to invest in other projects. We want to help the community. So that's what Stack Cash is about. So we want everything to work. You know what I mean? We all want to make money in the end.
Vin, that's a great
Exactly.
point. Yep, go ahead.
No, I'm saying exactly. I always joke around people when they go, "Oh, this project is thing," and there's some devs out there, and people will learn about them. I don't have to tell you who, where it's like it's us against them, and if you don't us, you're the enemy. And it's like it's stupid. It's like
Nah.
imagine in the grocery store, and you go down the
Right.
aisle, and there's one box of cereal brand, and it's plain
Yep.
cornflakes. That's it.
Yep.
Then we go down the other
Yep.
aisle. There's one type of pasta, and it's only thin spaghetti, no other variations. Imagine how boring life would be if that's all you kept getting every aisle.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Doc, my kids love pizza, man. And if you just gave them one type of pizza, they'd be like, they love it's so many different types of pizza that they enjoy. So great point, man.
Who doesn't
Very
love
great.
pizza?
Right. Exactly. All right. So real quick, guys, I do want to talk to you for just a moment about the Stack Fair launch. We have a little alpha to give you guys. Also, feel free, just for house cleaning, feel free also to hit the like. And if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. But the Stack Fair launch, again, we understand that people in DeFi are familiar with tokens. So I want to buy a token. I want to get in first. So kind of how, and shout out to the board for the voting on this and kind of getting this clarified. But how Stack is essentially going to happen, we're going to have the Stack Fair launch first, and then we'll distribute the Stack tokens and add liquidity. So essentially, in an order of process, the Stack token is going to be the primary focus up front. And it's the native token of the Stack Cash protocol, so that makes sense. But now we'll go kind of explain the Stack Fair launch. But did you guys want to give them any tidbits on the Stack token or the Stack launch? No.
What do you mean? Do you mean in regards to just like some of the stuff that's being discussed, or I'm just trying to make sure I'm on the same page?
Yeah, up into the incentives, yes. Yeah, anything that's been discussed or that we've even voted on.
Sorry, I just don't know. I'm just trying to tread carefully. I'm just trying to tread carefully what we, I'll leave that to you. How about that?
I got you. Okay. No biggie. Okay. So one thing I can talk about is, right now there's an opportunity for influence. We understand that in this space, especially with how that we're releasing the Stack token fairly and so forth and so on, word of mouth means everything. And if you've ever been in sales, they always say, people tell people sell to other people all the time. So with us, as you guys know, we'll have team treasuries when the full project is released with the cash token and all of that. And we've done, a phenomenal job. I feel like a phenomenal job over time of explaining what team treasuries are. However, there's a segment when the Stack token to be launched where people will be able to start building a team. And not only just that, if you're an influencer, Stack Cash, we welcome all the influencers. We're built basically from influencers. So feel free to reach out to us. We might have something that you could be a part of to even get a head start. But team building is going to start with the Stack launch, and then we'll move into other parts of the project. So that's just one caveat. Also, with the Stack Fair launch, as we know, it's a week long. I think I mentioned this before. There's going to be a 0% fee if you are an NTT holder. So again, people talk about the benefits of getting the NTTs, like, oh, I'll just wait for the token. Well, yes, but you'll be having to pay more taxes along the way. Because again, at the Stack Fair launch, there'll be an opportunity for you to get 0% fees when everyone else will have 5% fees. And going back, if you go through the white paper and so forth and so on, I think that's one of the only changes that we've made. We've essentially, put more precedence on being an owner, because I'm not going to lie, we're not going to let up on you guys having a part ownership in this project. That's the key to it. Yes, you can have tokens, but also ownership is key. So,
well, I guess if you're talking about
seconds, guys,
I'll go into what you're saying with the team part a little bit to say, without having anything finalized. But basically, when people join in teams and they have team building, and
right. So
in DeFi,
now I'm about to talk about the Stack token line. Sorry, I'm trying to get my screen together, in the background. But now we'll talk about the Stack Fair launch.
I don't think you can hear
and I'll give you guys a little tidbits.
It's okay.
About the distribution, and most people want to say, hey, where's the liquidity going? So I can do some explaining of that. Give me just a second here, guys.
Hey Mo, can you hear us?
And those of you who know me and know my computers,
technical difficulties, bear with us.
Shows up.
It happens. That's life.
Yep.
Okay, so big news. So we talked about the early adopter launch, and then,
You got me, Doc?
I can hear you. I think maybe he just had some technical difficulties. Maybe his signal or something's going out or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not sure.
Maybe the eclipse knocked him out.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Well, if he comes back up, I'll stop talking. But I was going to say before, if anybody else can hear me, if this is still active,
Yep.
is the fact that with the teams part, I was saying was that most people know about teams. And you join a team, and there's like MLM, multi-level, and then basically you join a team, you get no benefit. The person who recommended you gets basically paid a referral fee. And then people say, oh, join my team, you'll get these airdrops and stuff. And then basically those people don't don't do it, or they say they're going to, and then they go, nah, I changed my mind, I'm keeping all for me. And
Right.
that happens a lot. People get rubbed the wrong way. Well, with
Mm-hmm.
this, if you join under someone's team and you do that when that portion, the person joining is actually getting a bigger benefit than the person joining under. They're getting a bigger discount and a better benefit tax wise. So far as being discussed, if it gets finalized. Now, yes, the person, the influencer, is still getting um, rewarded and they're still earning for
Right.
that. That's a positive, but
Right.
it's a win-win. It's not just one-sided, because that's the whole point of the fairness of this. And it
Mm-hmm.
helps. It's a win-win for both sides to want to join a team, to get the discount, to want to join a team, to have that treasuries building up, to start getting that ready when that time comes. But that it's not
Right.
like, oh, I joined this person under a team and what's in it for me? I didn't get anything, only they got something. So everything's built in the fairness of all the people and the investors and the players.
Right. And AKA like pyramid Ponzi scheme, pretty much you just sit back while everybody else under you does the hard work, and you just enjoy the income you're getting from their hard work. And then what happens is liquidity starts dropping after a while, and then what are you left with? Nothing.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you back up?
We got you.
Sorry about that. Oh man. Oh, I don't know why my computer does that from time to time. Bear with me, guys.
All right, we got it going on still.
Nice.
We just didn't know if anybody else could hear us if we weren't going through you. So, but we
Some
did
of the
some
new
talking.
And also, when you guys are doing whatever, hopefully he's trying to share something that pops up. But I'm going to have to jump off in a couple of minutes, but I'll still be listening. So,
Okay. We'll appreciate having you, Doc.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, if it pops up, and we won't be too much longer, guys. I do just want to give you guys some information.
I can see
that
it. Whatever you're sharing, I can see it now.
Oh, you can see?
Yep,
Okay.
we got it.
Perfect.
I got it. Yep.
Nice. Okay. So the stack liquidity drive, and I think it's a good time to get this public so we can, we voted on this, and this is kind of where we are with it. But for the stack liquidity drive, again, everything that is traditional, everything that we had in the white paper still stands true. The only difference is that there's a 5% fee if you're not an NTT holder. So once you get in, and once you become a part of it, you'll be in the initial distribution of the stack token, or the inaugural distribution of the stack token. So NTT holders, not only do you get all these different perks, the main thing is also you get 0% fees on buying stack at the Stack Fair launch. It is a 1 week process. It's open to anybody. There's no limitations on it or anything like that, so you can come in and be a part of it. And again, people talk about a pre-sale. We don't have a pre-sale of tokens. We have a fair launch, meaning everybody can get at the same time.
Right. And Mo, before you started
Right.
kicking out, you were talking
Just a
about
couple more screens here.
Can you hear me?
Also, basically everything's still the same on the stack token distribution, because people say, hey, after the launch, how are you going to distribute the tokens, and how's that going to work? So for us, we're still going to have 50% of the stack tokens going to the stack generator, the main protocol treasury. Also, we'll have 20% going to the regulator. Now, all of the people who kind of deep into the project, they know what the regulator is used for. The regulator is essentially used to make sure the cash token stays collateralized. But in this case, the regulator is obviously helping the protocol in other ways, which we'll talk to at a future time. But it still gets 20% of the tokens. Liquidity. So the liquidity will have stack that be paired to liquidity to be available to purchase on primarily be the stack cash decks to start. While we will have Pancake Swap available, you definitely want to look use our decks to start, it's going to be cheaper for you. It's going to be less fees for you. So we always want to talk up less fees for the users. But 13% of the stack tokens would go to the liquidity pairs. Also 12.5% would go to the participants. And when we say participants, this basically means split up distribution. I'm sorry, the stack fair launch. So than those at the stack fair launch. Go ahead. I mean,
No, can you hear me?
yep, I can.
All right, yeah, because I keep hearing you cut in and out, and but no, I just want to make sure I'm still alive with you.
Okay. I don't know why my internet is acting funny today. I had the Ethernet plugged up.
Yeah,
Am I back, Vin? Can you hear me?
yeah, no, I can hear you. I can hear you. I just want to make sure we're still broadcasting. All good.
Okay, perfect. We good. Appreciate that, Vin. Yep, we should be good. Anything you want to add on this so far, Vin? I know I'm talking.
Nah, I mean that's pretty straightforward, and I just invite people to come look at that chart actually, and everything's transparent, straightforward there, and you can see exactly where everything's going to where, to what, and yeah, so pretty much go take a look at it.
Yep. And some great points that Doc and Vin spoke about earlier is, remember, you don't see a distribution going to the dev, or you don't see a
Right.
distribution going going to the team per se.
Exactly.
It's all going to the protocol.
hmm
We got the regulator. We also have the liquidity pairs. We got the participants. The board treasury is getting 2 million stack tokens. The committee treasury is getting 1.2 million stack tokens, and the stack cash treasury is getting 600,000 tokens to start.
Right.
So essentially, I'll be honest, Vin, from the very start, everybody will have a split of everybody in the stack fair launch will split 12.5% of the tokens.
Right.
That's what it
Yep.
is.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's only 100 million stack tokens ever to be minted. So think about that. Wow.
Being good point, because I did not mention that. Yes, so there only ever be 100 million stack tokens that you can understand that the important. And I'm not going to show you guys everything because we do want to. I'll present this in another way, but we appreciate you being here with us with the AMA. So I'll give you guys a little alpha. Percent of the funds from the liquidity drive will be going to stack USD. Going towards the stack BNB liquidity pair. So previously we said the token distribution will have some stack tokens going to liquidity pairs. Well, depending on how much funds is basically raised during the ICO or the stack fair launch, it'll be paired here with whatever funds we have, USDC and BNB.
Yep.
Next, now remember, I keep trying to tell you guys, being an early adopter matters. If you get an NTT, you're going to get extra perks that most others won't be getting. Guys, I'm sorry for my sound. Vic, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're dropping in and out, but I think everybody caught the gist of what you were saying about the USDC and the BNB part of it.
Okay, I'll try to be quick then. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. They must be cutting grass out back. I don't know. Okay, real quick. It's not going to be long. I just got a couple more portions I want to talk to you guys about. So the funds breakdown. So we talked about the stack liquidity pairs. The early adopters get 50% of the funds breakdown from the initial launch. So being an early adopter first. So that's key. Another 10% goes to the stack buyback vault. So essentially what this is we'll have a vault that especially in the early phases when we just released the stack token, we'll have a facet whereas you're okay to sell stack if you like. Please don't dump it. You know, other products don't say that. I'll say we're okay with you guys, taking some gains, but
Absolutely.
just it's a community project. Be about the community. But either way, we will have a buyback vault, whereas this will buy back into the protocol treasuries primarily. We'll have a vault already set aside to buy more stack tokens as more transactions happen. And just bear in mind that the stack token is a reflection token. So the moment you have some in your wallet, you'll be getting a percentage based on how much you hold of each buy and sell of
Hmm.
the stack token. And
Yep.
last but not least, we want to have the premier stuff for you guys as far as audits. We have some devs. We have 3 to 4 devs that we constantly
Hmm.
that cash. So we have an improvement wallet, which this first phase or this stack after the stack launch will be really, really building that improvement wallet to really help the project grow and for us to get the best of the best. And also bear in mind that our improvement wallet is a multi-sig wallet. So
Yep.
I think it's like we need a lot of signatures.
Yeah.
So we have yeah, so we have multiple people that need to sign to have anything happen. So
Yep.
again, that's pretty safe. And I'll be honest, if you compare it to other projects, they'll usually have this for a dev or for like marketing or something like that. So
Right. Exactly.
we think that's pretty fair. All right, last thing, and this is some alpha. So appreciate Gabe. If you're still hanging around with us, appreciate it. Dak had to leave. Thanks for tuning in, Doc. Thanks for coming and checking in with us. But in the first phase, remember I said, there'll be different percentages or different fees on the stack buys and stack sales. So this is something I can explain pretty quickly and pretty clean. Remember, the cheapest stack you'll ever buy is that 1 week stack distribution. However, directly after that, and for a short period of time until we release the cash token and the other features of the project, we'll have different percentages on buys and sales. So let's start with the sales. So if anyone were to sell, there's a 15% fee on all sales of stack after the distribution. So after we're out, whereas
Hmm.
6% goes to buyback stack. So to the generator and the regulator. So remember, I told you guys that our protocol trades, we don't leave anything to waste, right? Just like the buffaloes,
Right.
like we use the skin, we eat the meat, all that good stuff.
That's good.
um, so the stack tokens are going right back into the protocol owned treasuries. Obviously, we want all the holders to earn reflections on every buy and sell. So
Yep.
4% of all stack sales will go to all the holders.
Yep.
3% will go to the improvement vault. Remember, we want a project that's building, and this is a limited time. After the project, after we get the cash token and the other functions out, this won't be in here. But early on, there's a 3% that goes to that, and there's also
Yep.
2% that goes to Treasury Board and Committee entity holders. What
Yep.
does that mean? Remember, I told you guys it pays to be an owner here. 2% of all the stack sales will be going if you're a board holder, board entity holder, or a committee entity holder. So we already have worked into the sales where the ownership is going to get a percentage. Don't miss out.
Yep.
And also to kind of add on that, um, we understand that some people will sell, but one thing is we want to be prepared because we do have bad actors in the space. So we want to protect
Yeah.
all of the users and we want to protect the protocol.
Yep.
So users can't dump on us. Not only we have our treasuries in place to help with that, but the main thing is a user can only sell 20% of their total stack every single day.
Yep.
So over 5 days, if you want to get out, you can. But
Right.
the way it's built is that once you buy back stack, it's going to be more expensive to you. So
Hmm. That's right. We want you to make money, but we want you to hold. And yeah, but hey, if you want to sell your stack, I'm going to take those rewards. I'll appreciate that.
right, we'll take a little bit of that. But also, we're a community project, and I've said this
Yep.
in my personal Telegram chat. But I'll just kind of mention it here is we want to get people out of the, oh, let me get all of my money back and then I'll start in the project and use whatever money I've earned in the project.
Right.
While everybody can have their own strategy, that's great. Typically in investments, it doesn't work like that. If you bought
Right.
Apple stock, even just say you bought it in the first month of its inception, um,
Yep.
you've never sold all of it once you've doubled in price and, oh, well, I made my money back, now I can just live off of it. Most of the
Right.
time you'll skim off the top, but you'll still
Yep.
want to hold those that stock. Here,
Right.
the stack token is, if not as valuable, more valuable than a stock. You know, it's built to be deflationary, and the price is not built to stop going up. So
Right.
just keep that in mind. You know, while we understand that most DeFi projects, oh, I'll get my money out and that's it. You know, here is best to kind of stick with it, and you can skim off the top, but to definitely have a solid holding of stack tokens. So what do you think
Yep.
about that, Vin?
No, absolutely. But it's just because of what DeFi's been for what, like the past couple of years, and people, they have that in their mindset now. It's like, all right, I got to make some money. Hurry up, boom, boom, take it out now, boom, bang, done. But that's because of the way the projects are built. The projects are built. Like, if you take an in-depth look at the way this one's built, it's built for sustainability, longevity, and Mo was just talking about the improvement vault there. What does that mean? Well, improvement means we're going to just build upon it. Speaking of that, we're a layer two, which means that we can expand this to another blockchain, and just keep growing. If you hold and this thing just keeps growing and building, and we keep expanding it, you're going to do pretty well. So we're trying to get that negativity in the DeFi space out of everybody's mind right now, and at the same time make money.
Vin, very well said. Very well said. The way I see it is this is like a profit company and a nonprofit mixed in one. Like we have
Right.
morals, we
Yeah.
have, things that we're doing that's right by the customer, right by all of us. But
Right.
also everybody can make gains here. But it
Right.
takes community participation. Great, well
Yep.
said, Vin.
Think about that. 2% to hold NTT holders, right? It takes you a whole year to get 2% from your bank.
Ooh,
If you're
good
lucky to get
point, Vin.
2%, even if you get 2%, you're lucky.
Exactly. And also to kind of add on to that, and we got more that's coming for NTT holders. But you got to understand something too. Early on, there's going to probably be less NTT holders and more people once they start figuring out the advantages of it. But it's truly communal. So everybody splits a pot. So, if I hold 1,000,000 stack and you hold 10 stack, if you're an NTT holder, it kind of protects you because we'll be getting a fair share of the protocol treasury stack and cash when it comes out. But just
Yep.
understand that's the importance of NTTs. We can't keep, we keep reiterating how important it is. So
Right, right. And then if you can't get an NTT, all right, it's understandable. Not everybody had the dry powder going around these days, which we understand. But if you do get the stack token, and you do hold it, we're pretty sure you're going to do pretty well in the longevity. You know what I mean?
exactly. Good point, Vin. And that's why the stack token is coming out. You have an
Yep.
opportunity. Sometimes even if you don't have the dry powder like you like,
Right.
most projects don't allow your effort to go towards your stack. That's pun intended there. But here with stack, your effort is really, it's valiant here. You can DCA in it if I only got 100,
Yep.
200, whatever it is. You can
Right.
DCA and buy stack tokens and work your way up to an NTT and buy NTT. So good point,
Exactly.
stack.
Right.
Good point. All right. So last but not least, we'll talk about the stack buys. And this is a little different. So there's a 10% fee and a 12% fee. Now I'll just say off the top, it's going to be easier for you to use the stack cash deck. So use our site in order
Mhm.
to, buy stack after the distribution after the fair launch. It's just going to be cheaper for you. If not, there's a
Yep.
20% fee, a flat fee on PancakeSwap. So you don't want
Right.
to have to go through that. We don't want you to have to go through that.
Right.
So
Right.
early on, use the stack cash decks. So
Yep.
let's talk about the 12% fee first. This is if you do not have a team leader. So if some people say, hey man, I just want to, you know, I don't trust teams. I've been burned by MLM models. I don't like that. Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll have different options for you. Even if you want to use one of us as board members, we'll be available to you. So we prefer everybody to have a team leader in this phase. What does this consist of? So the percentage is 12% if you don't. So 4% goes to buyback stack. So essentially goes to our generator and our regulator.
Mhm.
3% goes to all the holders. So just basic reflection. So everybody can get a little something. 3%, as you guys know, especially as we progress in a project, the main thing here is building our locked liquidity. So 3% of
Yep.
all buys goes to build the stack liquidity. 1% goes to the involvement vault, and 1% goes, here we go again, then, to the Treasury board and committee NTT holders.
Yep.
NTT holders are going to be winning, guys. I try to explain that.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
essentially, that's a 12% fee if you do not have a team leader. Now, early on, before we release the cash token and the audits and all the other portions of the project, we want to incentivize people to start team building. Right now, well, early, if you team build, you're not necessarily building your team treasury yet. However, you are building the project by having more people in it, and you're also getting a certain number of people who could want to be on your team treasury when that portion is released. So
Right.
this is a slight change, and remember, everybody can change team treasuries once once the project is out.
Yep.
So
Right.
it's free will there, but to incentivize influencers, and not just influencers, regular people, to get more people into the project, there's extra that you'll be able to earn from being on a team. We'll talk more about the how to do that. It's very, very simple. Um, and even if you want to be given a team, we'll give you a good team to be on to start. But we want everybody to get, instead of paying 12% on stack buys after the launch, you can pay
Right.
10%. Everybody should be paying 10%.
Yep. Yep.
So how that breakdowns real quick, this is the last thing, guys, is 3% to be going to buyback stack. Now, you guys see a pattern here. So the generator and the regulator will constantly be growing. um, and it'll be using funds to buy back, stack tokens. 3%. Oh, let me go back over that last. So 2% will be going to all holders. So just basically reflects just for holding stack tokens. 1% is obviously building our stack liquidity. We want that.
Yep.
Then here we go again. 1% goes to board and committee NTT holders. So as
Boy,
an
I'll
owner,
tell you. Yes, sir. How those NTT holders are gonna make out pretty dang well.
they are, man. They are. And you know what's funny about it is it's like a job, You can
Yep.
be, just say you work at a skating rink, right? You clean the skates, you fix the skates, and you
Yep.
sell, but you get an hourly rate. So with stack
Yep.
tokens, that's like just being a regular worker. You're working for
Right.
yourself, but you're making those gains. But
Right.
here, not everybody can own the skating rink in real life. Here with
Right.
Stack, we allow you to be the owner with us, and the owner
Right.
gets a piece of every person that walks in the door. That's
Yep.
what that is to be an early adopter and get an NTT. So,
Yep.
so yeah, so the owners, yeah, that's better, but it said so the owners get 1%, which is could be anybody.
Yep.
Last but not least, remember I said, being on a team is very important. So we incentivize team leaders, and we also incentivize you as a stack buyer. So with 3% total of the stack buy of that 10%, 1% goes to the team leader. So team
Mm.
leaders get a little something. The key here is
Yep.
building a bigger team, and you get 1% of all the stack buys in this phase. Now, when
Yep.
the team treasuries come about, you'll be getting paid from the team treasuries. But only
Right.
in this first phase, team leaders will get 1% of whomever is on their team when they buy stack tokens.
Hmm.
2% is a rebate for you being on a team. So all users, and no matter who you are, it's going to benefit you to be a part of a team early because you get a 2% discount.
Right.
So basically, instead of paying 12% on stack, you'll be able to pay 10% on stack. And remember, guys, it's still just 10% when the rest of the project is released. It'll still stay 10% on buying stack tokens.
Right.
So that's kind of what it is. So you get a rebate, and your team leader gets a little bit, but you get double what your team leader would get,
Yep.
just for buying stack tokens. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, we were talking about that too when you kind of dropped out, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Yeah, being on a team nowadays doesn't mean you're going to be doing all the hard work while your team leader makes all the money, and then you're just sweating it out trying to make a few bits here and there. So yeah, being on someone's team, getting another person on your team, you get a little something too, and your team leader has to do a little bit of work too. So it's not just sit back and take the person being underneath you's rewards. So everybody gets a little something, something.
Oh, like that, Vin. I like how you put that. And also for security measures, as DeFi users, we understand how team models have broken certain projects and
Yeah,
certain parts of DeFi. This is
yeah,
all single level. So there is no multi-level. There is no, oh, well, if I get 10 team leaders under me, I'll get a percentage of their team. It's none of that. It's just one level.
right,
So it's just
right,
you and the team leader. That's
right.
it.
Yeah, I mean, and think about it, because the project could be doing good at the beginning. You're on this team, but then what starts to happen here is everybody at the top is making the money more and more, and then say the project starts failing, right? So the liquidity starts dropping out more and more. But your team leader and those types of projects, they don't really care because they made a ton of money off you, the person underneath you, the person underneath them, and so on and so forth. So do they really care if the liquidity dropped out? No, they took their money and they're running. So not here at Stack Cash. Team leaders got to do the work. Everybody's got to put in the time and participate.
Well said, Vin. Well said. And it's also to kind of add on to that, because that was perfect how you said it. To add on to that, once you start building a team, Vin kind of mentioned this. Once you start building a team, you don't have to split your 1% of your people that's under you with anybody above you. Right? It's just
Right.
it just
Yep.
goes to you. So
Yep.
incentivizing you building a larger team early is key here. So
Right.
good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So sorry we're a little bit over and a little bit later today, guys. But
Yeah.
today was our 22nd AMA. And as always, we got Vin. Appreciate Vin and Doc for joining me here. We always want to spread the joy about Stack Token and let you guys know what's going on. Vin, what do you
Yep.
think about today's AMA?
Man, I love it. Nothing like a good veteran roundtable, right? Just like anything else in the world, where people that know what they're talking about can sit down and talk to others, and it's like talking to a veteran, like that's been around for a lifetime, and what they've been through, and you sit there, you can just listen, right? You just stay tuned in because it's something you don't know, and you're just absorbing that knowledge. So that's what Stat Cash is about. This what this team is about. We want to talk to everybody about the project. We want to share our experiences and our veteran knowledge about the space, and try to help everybody out, and just expand this community, like I was saying.
Good point, man. And the great thing about Stack Cash that I love is that you can't really scare somebody who has nothing to hide. Like,
Right.
and that's the
Exactly.
great thing about this. Everything's up
Yep.
front. If you have questions, there's no, oh no, that's a FUD question. No, just ask the question. Um,
Right.
as long as it's respectful, you'll always get a great response from the team. So,
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
um, but as always, this is our 22nd AMA. We really appreciate you guys joining us. Definitely get your NTT stackcash.community. Go to the
Hmm.
website, go to the early adopter launch, be an early adopter, be an owner, get a percentage.
Right.
Anything else, Vin? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, actually, just want to let everybody know, like right now, we're trying. Well, we're going to be getting to some large groups with some big audience, and we're going to be having some big AMAs with these groups. And once this starts catching on with these bigger groups and whatnot, and they start coming in and grabbing these NTTs, hopefully, yeah, it's going to spread like wildfire. And before you know it, the NTTs will be gone. And so just stay tuned, follow us, come check us out, come talk to us in the Telegram, in the Discord, reach out to us personally if you don't want to speak publicly. But yeah, our mission right now is to blow this thing right up and just expand. So I hope to see you guys, and hope and women come talk to us.
Well said, Vin. And to close us out, agree. If you're an influencer and you want to, even get more involved, come talk to us. Come check us out on Telegram or Discord.
Yep.
We might have something for you. And not as far as funds, but as far as an opportunity, there might be an opportunity in front of you. So, but
Yep.
you know, all the wise words were said by Vin. You might see us around. Come check us out. You know, drop us. Hey,
Yep.
what's going on, board? We'll always wave back at you. But other than that, we thank you guys again, and enjoy your Saturdays. Have a good one.
Can't wait to talk to you again.